Okay, this is a little bit of a different type of practice. Be open-minded. Join me on the mat. If you have blocks, that's great. If not, a pillow will work. See you in a second. I'm working my way out here. Okay, I'm going to start right now. My knees go wide. Arms are energetically going to reach forward. Spread my palms wide. So I've changed the location of my practice. I'm now hiding. Energetically reach. Begin to feel your hands press firmly into the mat. My arms are beginning to be set like a down dog. They're active, they're engaged, and I feel my feet drop back towards my heels. Tabletop position, stack the body. Shoulders are nicely over the wrists. The hands are forward, index fingers are forward. Creases of the wrists are forward. Good. Reach the right leg back, flex the foot. Engage the navel to the back of the spine. Spiral the thigh bone down. Bend at the knee crease. Make sure you're not opening your hip. The hugging of the right thigh in is really important. Flex the right foot. Lift the thigh bone up a little higher. You should begin to feel that radiate kind of across the front side of the thigh. Slide the left arm forward, straight forward. So the right leg is bent in half. The left arm is reaching forward. Begin to really just feel the stabilization of the core muscles. Press more into the right palm. Slide the left arm back like we're swimming. Stay here. This is a good place to be really active. Just active and beginning to feel that front side of the body lift up as you press down more. If you can, get hold of your foot, kick up and back into the hand. This shouldn't be a struggle. If it is, just stay in the first part. Press more away from the ground. Release the arm and the leg in opposite directions. Keep the lift of the right leg like we started. Now slide onto the left hand. I'm going to take this leg and turn it open just a little bit. I'm going to set myself up for a modified side plank. This is a great alternative to regular Vashisthasana. Use the support of the bottom knee to be underneath the hip. Good. And the same thing goes. If you want to slide the arm back and then bend the knee, this is also great. So it's a modified Shalpasana in Vashisthasana. Kick away from you, firm up the bottom arm. Release the leg, release the arm. Look down, right hand comes down. You come back to that three-legged, that kind of one-legged tabletop position. Slide the right knee down. Left leg extends back. Just do that to begin. Press away from the floor, fire up the thigh bone, turn the thigh down a little, like you're leaving a footprint on the wall. Good, bend at the knee crease, just do that to start. The thigh wants to rotate out. It's not a donkey kick. It just want to hug in. Really begin to just feel stabilization here. Slide your right arm forward. Reach that right arm forward. That's the extension. Hand faces, so it's like we're shaking hands. Keep pressing away from the ground. More breath into what you're doing. Reach the right arm up like we're swimming. Right here, this is a good place to stay. Shoulders nicely placed on the body. Reach back, maybe get hold of that foot. You kick up and back. I like to flex my foot. Press away from the floor. If you notice, I'm not turning my hips open. They're down. Squared off to the mat. Take a little more. And then reach and stretch in opposite directions. Keep the lift of the inner thigh. Keep the lift of your left leg. Bring your right hand down. Firm it up, roll. I'm gonna have to turn out my bottom leg a little and then stack my shoulders. If you wanna add on here, the left arm reaches back. I'm gonna get hold of my foot, I'll kick behind me. I'm opening up my curtains as I do that. Kicking up, kicking back, right behind me. Release the arm, release the leg. Look down, keep the lift of your left leg. Come back to that that one-legged plank with the knee down. Really reach, lower the left knee. Slide the knees back just a little bit. I'm just gonna close this drop so we don't have a bad glare. Hands come down, knees slide back on an angle. I'm gonna bend my elbows in half to a supported chaturanga. Supported chaturanga with my gaze a little forward. Keep the knees down. Re-straighten your arms, supported plank. Do it again, bend the elbows, supported chaturanga. Straighten the arms, supported plank. Again, bend the elbows, supported chaturanga. Re-straighten the arms, supported plank. One more, bend the elbows, curl the toes, chaturanga from the ground up. Plank position, downward facing dog. Bend behind the knees as much as you need. Let your head go. Look to the top, roll forward to plank, hug your right knee, keep that drishti forward, slide your right foot forward to a low lunge. Be here with the back leg long and strong. Stay with the outer hip gripping in, underneath you. Keep the right foot where it is. Step your left foot forward, hips width distance. Come to the fingertips, long spine, or hands to your shins. Fold over your legs as best that you can. Bend your knees as much as you need. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Take a giant step back with your left foot. Same leg goes back. Plant your palms. Step back plank. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Pull yourself to an up dog. Point your toes. Take a downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank, bring your drishti forward, your gaze, broaden here, hug your left knee in, draw the navel to the back of the spine, glide the left foot forward, come to your fingertips, pause, back leg is strong, steer the left hip back. If this is unavailable, know you can always drop the knee, slide blocks underneath your hands. Your yoga practice is not one size fits all, as you begin to see in these videos. Our bodies, our minds, everything is changing around us all the time, so we adapt. Keep your gaze forward, draw the navel in, swing that right leg forward to meet, come to the fingertips, long spine. I bend my knees a little, weight is forward, fold in half. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Go ahead and step right back. You're gonna step right back with the right foot. Left foot's gonna join plank. I might have just confused that, but it doesn't matter. Just get back to where you started. Bend your elbows, chaturanga, upward facing point, downward facing back. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. So no frills, right foot forward, left foot to meet, onto the fingertips, fold in half, come to the fingertips, step your right foot back, plant your palms, step your left foot back. Bend your elbows, chaturanga, upward facing, downward facing. Left foot steps, come to the fingertips, right foot steps to meet, long spine, keep breathing, fold, come to the fingertips, long spine. You notice we're not coming up. Left foot takes a giant step back, plant your palms, plank, bend your elbows, chaturanga, pull yourself through an up dog. You can always omit this, downward facing dog. Keep moving, right foot forward, left foot meets, long spine, fold in half. Don't come up, come to the fingertips, slide your right foot back, plant your palms, left foot joints, bend your elbows, upward facing, downward facing. Left foot steps, come to the fingertips, bring your right foot forward. Long spine on the inhale, exhale, fold. Don't come up, come to the fingertips, long spine, left foot back. Plant your palms, right foot meets. Lean onto your right hand, Vashisthasana side plank. Bend your elbow in half, take your head into the back of your palm and the palm into the head. Lift the waist, draw the navel in. Look down, left hand comes down, plank, lean onto the left hand. Right arm extends up, flex the feet, lift the side body. Maybe fan that right elbow, press into the back of the head, reverse kind of positioning here. Flex your toes a little bit more. Keep your hand here, look down, and then bring your right hand down, plank. Chaturanga, upward facing point, downward facing back. Step your right foot forward, turn your back foot onto its side, take a block to the instep, right palm down, left arm open. Grip your outer hip in. Breathe. Lean back a little bit, turn up the inside of your ribs. Back foot should be a little bit on an angle so the thigh bone turns down. Just keep the two shoulders stacked nicely. Good, if you're dying to take your arm and wrap it around for a half bind, then go ahead and do it. If not, just stay with the arms nice and open. Lean back a little bit. More breath. More feeling, we're alive here. Unravel just your arms. Good, grip your outer hip in, look to the floor, take both hands down, move the block to the side, plant the palms, slide the right foot back plank. Bend your elbows, chaturanga, upward facing, downward facing. Left foot lands in between, back foot turns. Set up your feet for a warrior two, but don't come up. Palm's gonna come flat to that block or a pillow. Back right foot turns enough that your thigh bone can turn with you, arm stack. Just think Vashisthasana arms, side plank arms. Grip your outer hip in, turn up your ribs, look towards the ceiling. Lean back just a tiny bit. If you want to add the half bind, if this is something that's accessible to you, I kind of get out of that hip a little bit and pull myself out of the pose, leaning back. Gripping your outer hip under you, really beginning to feel the display of those hips as they open nicely. Turning up the breath. Good. Stay with it. Unravel the top arm. Look to the floor, circle the hands down, step back plank. Make it seamless, bend your elbows if you're taking the chaturanga. Upward facing slides you foot through. Downward facing dog lifts you up and back. Keep your feet where they are. Good. Keep your feet where they are. Just lift your right leg up. Start to walk your hands slowly back to frame your left foot. The lift of your right thigh is what we're looking for. The head goes soft. Shoulders relax away from your ears. Keep the lift of the right thigh. Palms go flat, start to walk the hands out. Three-legged, downward facing dog. Lift of the inner thigh, spreading of that left side of the body, press down into the floor, point your right toes, hug your knee to your navel, land your right foot forward, turn your back foot onto its side, triangle pose from the ground up. Just have your hand on the shin for today. Lift the waist, turn up the breath, feel your feet on the floor. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Stay with it. Lots of little triangles in the body is what we're trying to create here. Left hand's gonna come to the hip. I'm gonna stay really tight and close to the ground. Float my weight forward, moving seamlessly into half moon. Not bouncing up. And take the block its highest setting to help me out today. Flex and spark up your top toes and then grow the pose. If you want, add in the bind, known as Chopasana. Kick behind you. Lift the waist, turn up the ribs, keep the right foot grounded. Regular half moon, move slow. Keep your core nice and engaged. This movement is going to be very slow. The transition is a little tricky. You're going to float back to triangle pose. Stay close to the floor, pull up on the shin, lift the waist. Look to the floor, circle both hands down. Tent the left hand, walk your right foot over. You once again can use a block underneath the hand. I'll demonstrate that for you. And then peel your right arm open. Scissor the right thigh so it doesn't wing out. Stack the two shoulders. Activate the back leg more. Keep the lift of the belly. The ribs are twisting. Your gaze, if possible, let it go up. Look down, place both hands to the floor. Step back plank. Little movement, you feel it everywhere. Isn't that amazing? Lower halfway chaturanga. Drag yourself through an up dog, point your toes. Take a downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Left leg lifts. Lift it up high. Flex the foot. Don't turn the thigh open. Keep it squared. Start to creep the hands back. Start to creep the hands back. You can always move blocks with you. Don't open the hip though. Let the head hang nice and soft. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. So for this pose, I actually think less about how high I can lift my leg. I want to keep that left leg strong and really begin to lift it, but more if I need to bend my right leg a little and fold deeper. Keeping everything very neutral. Plant the palms, keep the lift of the thighs, start to walk back out nice and slow. Keep the lift of that leg, don't let it drop. Point the toes, hug the knee in. I'm gonna make my stance a little longer. Keep looking forward, land the left foot forward. Turn my back foot onto its side. Make sure I'm heel to heel, heel to arch. Pull up from the to the triangle from the ground up. Inner thighs are kind of working together. The lift of the waist. This is the perfect storm. The hamstrings are working, the obliques are working. Feeling your feet on the floor, creating so much space. Where can you get lighter and free yourself? Keep the left foot forward, right hand comes to hip, move slow, you're not bouncing up. Float very slowly, half moon. Work out where your block needs to be if you're using it. I like a little off-centered, a little off to the left. Open up your top hip, slide the right arm up. Spark up the toes, add in the bind if you care to. Flex the foot. No collapsing, no dumping in this posture. Release the top leg, regular half moon. Take your time. The transitions are so important. The transition here is slow. You're going to step back, triangle pose. If it didn't work out so finely for you, it's okay. Lift to the side body, our inner and outer thighs working, really driving the feet into the floor as you lift up a little higher with your top right arm. Look down, circle the hand, peel the right heel. I like to widen the positioning of my feet. You can slide a block underneath, easy twist. High on the ball of your back foot, you're bending deeply into your front thigh. Good, stay with me, you're doing great. Look down, move the block. Step your right foot to meet your left. Come to the fingertips, long spine, fold over yourself. You're gonna kneel down and bend up and you're gonna squat, kind of like, so you feel like you're gonna go to crow, but you're not. Keep the chest really lifted, just come to the fingertips. So I'm balancing on the balls of my feet. Good, then keeping myself low, my arms are gonna come up. Staying really low to the floor today. Lift the chest, so balancing here the best that I can. Drag my hands to prayer. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, and twist low. This is just too much. Have your feet flat on the floor. You're more in a tight squat. You can also just come up and take a regular chair with a twist if you're not feeling this. Good. Twist a little right, look up, look towards the side wall, maybe look towards the ceiling. Another breath in. Come around to center, reach your arms up, stay with me, squeeze in, drag your hands to prayer. Inhale the breath, hook and hover. Good. Press the palms. Keep squeezing the inner legs. I feel this a lot in my calves, which is great. Breathe right here. Another big breath in. Bring the arms back up to center. Fold over the legs. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Plant your palms. Step back. Downward facing dog. Roll forward plank. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Upward facing slides you through. Press back, chaturanga. Press up, plank. Downward facing dog. Do that again, plank position. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Upward facing pulls you through. Rebend your toes, bend your elbows, chaturanga. Your gaze is forward, straighten your arms, plank position. Downward facing dog. One more, plank. Keep it peppy, guys. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Upward facing drags you through. Rebend your elbows, curl the toes. Chaturanga to plank. Downward facing dog. Right foot lands. Stay low. Good. You're on your fingertips here. So you're gonna have to lift your chest up, bring your arms back just a little bit. Just hover here. Grip the hips in. Fire up the legs. Feel the right heel. Bring your hands to prayer. You're not coming up. Inhale the breath. There's a lift of the side body. Hook the elbow. Begin to twist. Crown of the head is leaning forward and back just a little bit. Back leg is strong. There's a scissoring of your legs coming together. Good. Keep gripping that hip underneath you, feeling your feet on the floor. Good. Bring your dristi down, both hands to the floor. Scoot your right foot to the center of your mat. Slide your left knee behind that foot and come down to sit. This is a pose called Ardha Matsyendrasana, seated spine twist. Your right foot is bent, left next to your left knee. My two butt cheeks are firm on the floor. My right hand comes behind me. Left elbow extends up. Hook the elbow or just give the knee a squeeze. Inhale the breath. Exhale, look over the shoulder and twist. The closer your right hand to the base of your spine, the more deliberate this will be in the straightness of the spine, which is what we want. Inhale the breath. Exhale, twist. Take one more big breath in. Come to center. You can counter stretch if that feels good to you. You're going to unravel the leg back and press back, downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Roll forward plank. Bend your elbows, chaturanga, upward facing, downward facing. Land your left foot forward. Come to the fingertips, steer the left hip back, reach your arms back. Grip the hips in. Lift the chest a little higher so there's some nice space between your stomach and your thigh, but you're not all the way lifted. Hands to prayer. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, and twist. Back leg is strong, crown of the head is forward, leaning back just a little bit. More weight forward. So the inner and outer thighs are working nicely together. Another big breath in. We're in our happy place. Look down, place both hands, scoot your foot to the center, swing your right knee behind your left heel, come to sit. Make sure you're not sitting on your right heel. This can always be done with the right leg straight out, hand behind you, hook the elbow, twist. If this is unavailable, give the knee a squeeze. Inhale the breath. Exhale, look over the shoulder and twist. Good. Lengthen the spine, twist open. Come to center, counter stretch, go the other direction. Come to neutral, swing the leg around. Your right knee just scooches over. Here I am, I'm in a half pigeon pose. Fold yourself in half. Letting yourself go. Stay with the breath, stay with the feeling. Let your body just melt into the half pigeon. It's a great hip opener. Pull yourself up, swing your left leg around. Right foot is going to come to the inner part of that left thigh. I'm going to open my hips a little. Arms are going to reach up, turn the torso, grab the foot and fold. Take your right ribs over, down towards the ground as you let your head go. Flex your left foot a lot. Keep both butt cheeks down. There's a little twist in your ribs so you can really neutralize yourself here. So you're not rolling all your weight to the left. Come up to center. Right hand comes behind you, goes flat. This is sail pose. Left foot goes flat to the floor. Lift up out of your waist. This is a back bend. Right knee stays down. Left leg is strong. Press the top of the foot into the mat. Lift up. Look up a little. Lower yourself down, swing the left leg around, step to down dog. Sometimes getting out isn't so graceful. Maybe you want to clean that up. Roll forward plank, just keeping your energy moving. Chaturanga, upward facing, pulls you through. Downward facing presses you back. Land your left knee forward, half pigeon. So every practice that you do looks a little different, feels a little different, is a little different. We never want to get stale. Allowing yourself just to be in this. A little bit more energy. Top of the right foot stays pressing into the mat so you know you're not dropping over. Push yourself up nice and slow. Swing the right leg around. Open up the hip a little so you're a little bit more open in the hips. Bring your arms up, separate leg stretching. Pull yourself down. Grab the base of the foot. Even if you had a block here, this is a nice way to do it because it's going to keep you pulling your torso straight forward. So you can grab the side of that block and use that. If you can't reach your foot, then you're not going to grab your foot. You're going to grab your shin or take a little hand towel and wrap it around the base of the foot. Come up nice and slow. Left palm's going to go flat. Right leg's going to press into the floor. Top arm's going to press open towards the back wall as you lift up out of your waist, sail pose. It's a different type of back bend. Keep the breath flowing. Move yourself out of the pose nice and slow. I'm going to face you now. I'm going to separate my legs. I'm going to bring my block with me. Nice and wide with my legs. This is not my most graceful pose. Yeah, make sure that you're not dumping down. You want to lift up. Inhale the breath. Lift your arms straight up. Be here. Grab opposite elbows for me. Just practice flexing your feet. What happens in this pose is we want to roll our toes, our inner thighs want to go down. The tighter we are, the more challenging it is. So just feel the sides of your body lift and flex your feet. Bring your arms back up to the shoulder width. Can you remember which elbow you grab? Grab the opposite. Bring your arms back up. Bring your hands to prayer for me. I'm going to use a block to demonstrate this. My forearm, back of my forearm is going to press here. Hook the big toe. If you can go with your arm completely down to the floor, then go ahead and do that. Good. I'm going to prop myself up. Left arm extends up. This can be your pose for today. Keep flexion of your feet. Make sure your left thigh isn't turning in. Good. And then top arm can reach up and forward. If you can grab your foot, that's great. Just a few breaths. Look underneath the armpit. If this is too much, just have the arms straight up. I'm going to stay like this today and just breathe. Good. Pull yourself up. I'm going to move my block over. So the block just brings the floor up. If I can hook the big toe, that's great. Right arm's going to reach up. Top arm's going to reach forward if you want a little more. This side has a little bit more movement. Keep flexion of your foot. The second you start to turn your right thigh down, the pose is over. If you can't breathe, back out of it. Arm can just stay up. Good. Stay with me. Pull yourself up. Legs are going to make a butterfly shape. Right. You can use the block going the long direction. Your feet can go on that block. Elevating this a little. And then I'm going to butterfly fold, bringing my head as close to the arches of my feet as I can, using the back of my triceps to press my outer shins to the floor. If you don't have a block, feet just go flat down and you just fold the best that you can. I'm going to pull myself up, remove the feet. I'm going to find my way onto my back. Okay. Block's going to go straight up just like this. I'm going to use the strength of my arms. I'm going to tap my toes to the block. I'm going to start to lower my heels to tap the floor, keeping the arms and the block nice and straight. Lift the heels back up. Lower the heels back down. Lift the heels and the toes up. Lower the heels back down. Just like this, toes up, nice and slow. Heels back down, toes up. Heels down, toes up. Heels down, toes up. Heels down. One more, toes up. Heels down. Lift my legs back up, bend my knees. Block's gonna go in between my thighs this direction. Elbows are gonna wrap in towards the outsides of my knees. Elbows are gonna extend out, heels are gonna extend forward. I'm gonna squeeze the block. Hug in. Extend out. If it's too much to have the legs straight out on an angle like this, the legs go up higher, their hips width distance. The block is keeping me engaged. Hug in. Extend out. Elbows are on the ground, neck is long. Look up. Hug in. Extend out. 3 more. Hug in. Extend out. 2 more. Why not? Hug in. Extend out. 1 more. Hug in. Extend out. Good. Hug the knees to the chest. Happy baby. Grab the outsides of the feet. Pull the knees down around the rib cage. Lengthen the tailbone. Come back to center. Wrap the right thigh around the left. Lift the hips up. Drop the knees over to the left. Upper body just a little bit to the right. So it's eagle legs with the lower half of the body. Cactus arms with the upper half of the body. Come up to center. Unravel, other way. Hips go a little left. Upper body goes a little right. Good. Roll up to center, unravel, hug in. Touch in really tight here. When you extend out, the legs are going to go straight out. The arms are going to reach back. I'm going to hover everything and hold for 5. Look up, draw the belly in for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Release, Shavasana. Relax yourself right here. Separate your feet, separate your arms from your side body. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and drop down. I'm going to press myself up at this point. Sit up nice and tall. Look towards you. That was an awesome practice. A little different, experimenting here in the home practice. Hands come to prayer. Have some closure for yourself, some gratitude. Bow your head. Lift your head, open your eyes. Namaste. Thanks for joining me. Catch me next time. See you then. Peace out.
Was it good?
You tell me.
I